Welcome to the Professionally Curious podcast where we're meeting the 100 most insightful people in crypto. And here is my friend Trevor joining us today at the Sonata office in New York.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Yeah, nice to have you here. So let's get started. Yeah, how did we meet each other? It was our Coinbase connection.
Yeah. So I used to work at Coinbase way back when. It's actually only a couple of years ago, but I feel like the years feel really long these days. But 2019 to 2023. So I was on the key management squad. I was, keeping all those cold storage funds locked away and safe.
Yeah.
And then also built like a lot of their systems, so hot wallet orchestration, which just like lets you move money out, and some of their MPC staking systems. And then they actually had this like MPC wallet product. It was like in the app. It didn't take off. I'm not really sure why. They didn't market it or anything.
Yeah, exactly. We had like the best technology at the time, but I feel like it wasn't properly advertised.
Well, there was a few things. It was around when Coinbase NFT came on, this like MPC wallet. And so Coinbase NFT was not, you mentioned you worked on it.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a flop. And I think afterwards they were nervous on product launches. But two, I think this just product got gimped with legal. The original idea was like, hey, lend directly in the Coinbase app. DEX is in the Coinbase app.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, we can't do that. And then it was like, okay, we'll build a wallet with like a web browser in the Coinbase app hidden away. And then no one wants to use that extra web-based wallet, so it didn't take off. But no, before that, I've been around for a while. I probably first got into crypto buying like fake IDs with Bitcoin. Shout out ID God, boy from Hong Kong. But actually I used to do like power grid security research in school. We were like taking power grid servers and replicating them with like BFT consensus mechanisms. And then like Ripple launched and I was like, oh wait, I have a paper on consensus. Wow. I'm a blockchain guy. Let's go. So there was a brief 2017 phase where me and some friends tried a bunch of startups, which all kind of failed. It really didn't get off the ground. And there were like medical records on the blockchain, houses on the blockchain.
I remember that. Yeah, I was like with a bunch of friends trying to start a company that does like voting on chain. In some like emerging country. Yeah, we were all very much the bright-eyed idealist at the time, right?
Yeah,
thinking it's gonna change everything that we touch in the real life.
Yeah, I mean, helped build this like property on the blockchain thing on the friggin' NEO blockchain throwback.
Oh,
it was going to be Chinese Ethereum, and then Justin Sun actually built Chinese Ethereum, so that was the end for NEO.
Yeah.
Horrible chain. And actually, they charge you like $50,000 to launch a contract. And
what?
Yeah, their take was it would make sure there was only good smart contracts on NEO. And the company I was working with blew their entire runway launching shitty contracts that didn't work. They're like, frig, we need a new one. It costs money.
Yeah.
So did that, and then eventually was like, I'm going real time. Started working for Coinbase, and then left around 2023 to start Doormat. And so Doormat, we actually moved around. I'm the founder of Doormat, but I started out as a solo founder, and the goal was kind of, hey, I know a lot about key management and like MPC stuff. Let me build like easy, keys that you can use anywhere as a service. So Magic Link was the big player at that time. Now Privy and Turnkey kind of run the show, but I was like an early competitor there. So I I was at Coinbase. Everyone I knew was like leaving to start startups. I feel like.
I remember that. Yeah.
Everyone,
it's like a Coinbase mafia.
Yeah,
really.
Everyone was leaving left and right, and you're like, shit, what am I doing? Engineering, like some schmuck? Let me start a startup. So I built an early version of Doormat. We had keys in the browser with like no seed phrases and stuff, which is now it's like, this is the experience everyone's come to expect, but back then it was like crypto was more of a pain to use. And then locked some clients, left, started Doormat. And then it actually didn't go as rosy from there. All the clients I locked went under. There's like an FTX crash and a few things. So I was like, and kind of iterated around and actually decided I wanted to own the user. I was just sick of trying to get people to use me. Also, as a solo founder at the time, it's like, are we going to trust this guy to put all our money on his keys? I was like, no, please. I know what I'm doing. But, they wanted to see like big team and other stuff. So I was like, okay, and pivoted to like Fire blocks for retail, and which was like our next big iteration. Raised funds and built a team, and then went and launched from there. But we're very like EVM focused, more like standard wallet. It's like, hey, you can go on Doormat on your phone, you can go on your browser, and like use dApps like Uniswap or other stuff. And around when we launched, it was like, no one was really using dApps anymore, and no one was really doing that much EVM stuff. Like we were heavily retail focused, and all the retail traders were like on Solana. Like from my side, I was on Solana.
Right, you're the Solana maxi now.
Yeah, like all my money was in WIF at the time, and I was like, I'm building an EVM wallet. I was like, what am I doing? So we like closed up, kind of transitioned from like pure like MetaMask style wallet to more of a like Photon, Axiom like trading terminal experience, like in the web. Simplified everything. Like we had all this security stuff for device management. Everyone thought was really confusing. And like went all in on like trading tools. So when we launched and added Solana. So we launched as like a Solana trading terminal. We had like a lot of cool stuff. Like if you wanted to buy a shitcoin with 100 keys at once with Doormat, you could.
Yeah, you started that.
Yeah, we were the place to do it because we owned our own key infrastructure. So it's like, we could do this for free. And also a bunch of trading bots. So like simple ones like TWAPs, limit orders and stop losses. But then we built like fun ones. Like I like this one we called round trip protection. And you just turn it on and you can like shitcoin randomly. And if any of your coins double, like you automatically sell them behind the scenes for the lazy trencher like me. And yeah, so was doing like working on this. You know, we had like we launched the new version in December. We kind of like a flood of users around the Trump week. They all lost all their money. We kind of went down in AM, and we had like another couple, you know, up and downs, but you know, didn't get massive like traction of like you know, huge floods of users. And then actually we had some inbound, so ended up getting acquired, and now I work for Alchemy as of like last week. So this is very new info. I'm very brand new.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a huge pickup, legendary pickup from their side too. I mean, you know, you've been in the wallet space for so many years and doing your own thing, you know, also working for like one of the biggest exchanges. So yeah, I mean, it's great that they were able to acquire you and have you, you know, head up the whole like smart wallet business there. Yeah,
no, so we're well, I'm not the head of the smart wallet business, you know, I'm just working on it, right? But yeah, now I'm, you know, working for like wallet tech for Alchemy, specifically around like financial applications. Right, we're trying to onboard developers onto our stack, make it super easy to just, you know, get your users going and trading, doing any other sort of financial application. So definitely reach out if you have any needs there. Although I am still on board.
Yeah. No, he was so funny. We were just catching up before this. He was trying really hard to BD me. Yeah, Alchemy really picked the right person here.
Gotta start BD early.
But yeah,
always stay shilling is my take for the audience. Never stop shilling.
Absolutely. I'm actually really curious because I'm a founder myself, right? Like hearing about your journey, you know, how you really stuck it through the bear market, right? You kind of went through multiple cycles, right, to get to where you are. What is the vision? Like what keeps you, you know, continue to work on Doormat for all these years? Yeah,
so for me, I was probably the biggest user. Well, actually, no, I wasn't. We ended up having shout out to the Mentap guys. They're our biggest client. But they were this like meme coin we onboarded as the treasury. Mentap coin. But I was like a huge user of Doormat. So I kept like a large chunk of my net worth in there. I was just trading on it. So to me, it was the product I used every day. It's like, let me buy some coins. Wow, I'm making money with Doormat.
Yeah, and no one else is doing that in the market, right? So you have to build it yourself.
Yeah. And I think from my side, it's just like, I really like crypto. I don't know, I've been stuck here for a long time. And it's just like, okay, this is fun. You know, I feel like too, we moved around, right? So if we stayed the same thing we were doing in the beginning, it would have been pretty tough couple of years, but we kind of moved where the activity was. Although it was bear market, there was like pockets of activity moving around. So like, you know, I think our like first launch, we were very focused on base because that was going and we were EVM. Then like, okay, Solana coins were popping off. We went on Solana. Like we added like a pump fund UI. Pump fund was the big place. Everyone was launching coins, you know. So like, although it was like bear market too, things were collapsing. I think other things were like ascendant in other areas. So if you just like move around, you know.
Yeah, for sure. And the fact that you got, you know, the acquisition, I think that's always like such a great, you know, I love hearing stories like that we're in a big M&A market right now.
Yeah, I feel like I know a lot of other founders.
Yeah,
right now
and then you got hit up by more than one. So again, Alchemy got the right one. Yeah, tell me more about that. Actually, yeah, what do you think is the decision-making factor there to decide on like staying, building, or getting acquired by a bigger player, but perhaps in a different platform?
Yeah, I think it comes down to like where you see growth, right? So like for us, we've been like shooting on this like area of like a kind of decentralized trading terminal, non-custodial, other stuff, right? Like we had been working on it for a while, and we had pockets of growth, but like no massive J curves. So then like after some time, it's like, okay, what are the other options? And then when people are interested in acquiring you, it's like this could be the better move to go for. It's like we had like tried like a lot of different shots on goal, I would say.
Right.
And so it's like, okay, I have, no more ideas. Like, let's go for someone else.
Right. And you get to do what you're doing, always, right?
Yeah,
just with more resources.
Kind of doing the same thing, but more resources now focused, actually, back to what I was doing before, focused on the developers.
That's right.
I was focused on the developers, migrated to the traders. Now I'm done with the traders. I'm out of the bucket shops. Back to the developers.
I'm actually asking Trevor right before this meeting to help test out our new trading platform. So I think I still, in my mind, you're my go-to trader.
Yeah, I'll get on there.
Actually, just last question before I end this. What's your view on the overall market, like in terms of, I guess, opportunities for trading apps specifically? I'm asking personally, kind of selfishly, because we were also doubling down on trading with our Sim for Fun, copy trading platform. So yeah, I wanted to hear your insights.
So lots of views, lots of things happening right now. One of my favorite books, highly recommend, is Devil Takes the Hindmost, The History of Financial Speculation. And nice. I think we are kind of definitely entering in like a huge speculative area. It kind of reminds me a lot of like 2020, right? We had DeFi summer craziness, kind of like, the AI agents, the meme coins, and then they peaked with Trump coin and popped off. And then a year later, the bull run started. I think we're there. But now we finally have government backing. So in terms of trading, speculation, I think that's going to get bigger and bigger. What has been interesting is that I was always on this belief with Doormat of like multi-chain. Like we started, actually, we were Bitcoin and EVM, then we added Solana. We got rid of Bitcoin, actually, because one of our people we were working with went under that gave us Bitcoin support. But like, now it seems like trading has gone multi-chain. Like you look at Axiom, you look at everything, it's Solana and Hyperliquid, right? It's not just Solana and Solana, right? So although the assets are still, for the most part, on Solana. I don't know, there is base season, right? But I think trading definitely has gone multi-venue. Which honestly makes a lot of sense. Like you have goods in Chicago and stocks in New York City. Why would goods also be in New York City? That makes a lot of sense. And similarly, usually your brokerage, like Fidelity or whatever, maybe not Fidelity, but like your brokerage will support buying on different avenues and also like buying different types. Like you can buy options on platforms if you sign the thing saying you're a degen, right? And so I do see like crypto trading kind of going to this direction, right? Like Axiom supports everything.
That's a really good point. I just want to shout out to that, because I think the one thing that we care so much about is user adoption, right? So we're doing this Sim for Fun, like currently on Hyperliquid. We're moving to Solana. We're going to eventually move on to like the Soon chain, but you have to go to where the users are, and it's multi-chain currently, as you mentioned. So all the tools that we build, like similar to what you said too, right? Like the developer tool, the consumer app, right? All have to support that.
Yeah. So
like wherever platform can aggregate that type of trading support, like trading flow, it's going to be the platform that wins.
Yeah, and the developer tooling has gotten really good, right? Like back in the day, if you wanted to trade on chain, you'd have like 3 wallets and you'd be using like 5 different dexes, right? Like you have your MetaMask wallet for Uniswap, and then like your Solana wallet, like Phantom or something. You're trading there.
Right.
Hell, this is random because no one's added this, but recently I've been getting shilled Joey wallet for Ripple.
That's funny.
Actually, in our last month before like acquisition, we got a flood of users using this thing Rail mode, which just lets you trade really fast. And they all wanted Ripple support. They're like, Ripple's the new Solana.
Right, of course, yeah.
So honestly, I'm a little bullish Ripple and Ripple shitcoins. But yeah, the tooling has gone good. Like now users go in, they use like Privy or Alchemy Wallet Stack or like any of these other things. There's no seed phrases anymore. You might not even have to pay gas anymore. Like basically the trading experience is going towards Web 2. And yeah, the developer tool's gotten good. Like I think also winning now has gotten more of a factor of distribution and branding, right? There's no tech moat, right? It's not like Axiom has better security than Photon. They're all
That's
just
such a good point. Yeah.
developer tools, right? So it's like, how do you get the users aboard? Like, what's your branding? Like, the probably more black-pilled way to say is like, how are you bringing the fish into the casino? But like, really, you're building an avenue, or you got to bring them in. So I think we'll see more and more just like differentiation on that. Like, who are their user base? Like, how are they hyping them up to stay on their platform? Almost like the casino model. Who knows? Maybe at some point, like GMGN will be sending you a free trips for being like a big trader.
Yeah. So my kind of like takes on that is you gotta have three things, in this like consumer, speculative consumer app scenario. It's like you gotta have the wealth creation, in fact, right? Like making sure that like early contributors can like also benefit from the overall like growth of the network. You gotta have the user attention. That's hard. Like to your point, it's coming from branding. It's talking about coming from like your overall like sentiment and your mind share, and then lastly is like speculative value, right? So the product itself, in some ways it's the token, in some ways it's some other sort of rewards system, right? Like you have to continue to provide that speculative value.
Yeah, you need to attract and also stand out. Right, like
100%.
That was a big, and I see you're going that with Simp for Fun, very funny name, Simps. That was a big thing we were doing with Doormat. Like, we launched this really crazy commercial where I was smashing laptops. We actually gave away. Well, we tried.
Oh, I saw that. That was like a really funny tweet.
Oh yeah, the smashing ones. We did a boat giveaway. So we never launched a coin, which maybe we should have. But we had Doormat points for doing anything, and like you could gamble them on boat raffles.
That's right.
And like one person won a piece of shit paddle boat. They didn't actually want the boat, so we gave them Soul instead. But I think we're gonna see more of these. Like for us, we were like small, and it was hard to get like grander distribution and break out. But like, I mean, actually, a big example is probably Nova on Solana. There's nothing really special about Nova, but they had Orangey's distribution, and so they have users on it. Actually, I think it might even be a fork of like another wallet. Don't quote me on this in case it's not a fork. I don't want to get the Nova team mad at me, right? But it's going to be moving more and more. Like, how do you get users onto your platform? Everyone's going to be trying to be the Robin Hood of on-chain. Right?
That's right. Awesome. Yeah, so much insight. Actually, so much to learn. Yeah, really glad that we got to do this today. We will have to invite you back for part 2 after a few months of you settling in.
Settling in and having a new job.
Exactly. But thank you so much, guys. Yeah, we'll see you in the next episode.
Real quick to shill, Alchemy Smart Wallets. Build your financial apps on Alchemy, baby.